What if the ending of Outlander isn't really the end at all? What if Season 8 is secretly the bridge to a brand new story, one that stretches further into the past than we've ever seen? With Outlander preparing for its final season and the prequel series, Blood of My Blood, waiting right around the corner, fans are asking the big question: are these two shows about to connect in ways no one saw coming? We've been with Claire and Jamie for years, watching their love defy time itself, but the truth is the Outlander universe is just getting started, and the timing of these two productions might be more than just coincidence. Both Season 8 of Outlander and the very first season of Blood of My Blood have already finished filming. That's right. Everything is wrapped and ready to go, even if we don't have release dates yet. What's fascinating is how the filming schedules overlapped. Outlander Season 8 shot from March to September 2024, while Blood of My Blood ran from January to July. That means both casts were working at nearly the same time, and if you know how TV production works, that kind of overlap often hints at shared storylines or even crossovers. The prequel itself takes us deep into the past, long before Jamie and Claire's love story began. On Jamie's side, we'll finally meet his parents, Ellen Mackenzie and Brian Fraser, who lived in the 18th century. On Claire's side, we'll get to know Julia Morriston and Henry Beauchamp in the early 20th century. These are people we've heard about but never truly met, and by the time the main series begins, they're already gone. That's exactly what makes their stories so intriguing. Fans are finally going to see where it all began. But how does this connect to Season 8? Outlander has one storytelling tool that makes anything possible: time travel. Roger is already preparing to pass through the stones in Season 7, and the big tease is that he won't land where or when we expect. Imagine if Roger accidentally finds himself in the time of Jamie's parents. That would be the perfect way to introduce Brian and Ellen Fraser before the prequel officially kicks off. It would give viewers a first glimpse of them inside Outlander itself, making the transition to Blood of My Blood feel seamless. And the same goes for Claire's parents. Claire's ability to travel through the stones didn't come out of nowhere. It had to be inherited. What if Season 8 teases Julia and Henry in some unexpected way? Maybe Roger or Brianna cross paths with them. Or maybe the prequel reveals the true origin of Claire's gift, which Season 8 could foreshadow. And then there's the oldest mystery in Outlander, Jamie's ghost. Way back in Season 1, Frank saw a shadowy man staring up at Claire through a window before disappearing. For years, the assumption has been that this was Jamie's ghost, lingering in the future after his death. But what if that theory is wrong? What if the ghost wasn't Jamie at all, but his father, Brian Fraser? Imagine if Brian's spirit was the one watching over Claire, guiding her to Jamie, making sure she found her way to him. That would completely flip the narrative on its head. Instead of the ghost being a tragic sign of Jamie's eventual death, it would become a symbol of protection, showing that the Fraser family has always been looking out for Claire, even from beyond the grave. Of course, the show could go in other directions. Maybe the ghost really is Jamie, but not in the literal sense. It could be a symbolic echo of his subconscious, his love for Claire breaking through the barriers of time. Jamie has dreamt of Claire in her own century before, so what if that apparition was simply his longing reaching across time and space? Another possibility is that the writers use the ghost as a red herring, giving just enough of an explanation to satisfy fans without fully spelling it out. Or they could take the most heartbreaking route of all and confirm that Jamie does die, and that his ghost waits centuries to see Claire again. It would be devastating, but it would also be one of the most powerfully romantic conclusions imaginable. Whether it's Jamie, Brian, or something else entirely, Season 8 is almost certain to finally give us an answer to this mystery. After nearly a decade of speculation, fans deserve closure, and this final season feels like the right time for it. But that's not the only surprise waiting. Showrunner Meryl Davis and author Diana Gabaldon have already confirmed that Season 8 won't just adapt from Go Tell the Bees That I Am Gone. It will also borrow material from Gabaldon's still unreleased 10th book. That means audiences are about to see stories and twists that no one has ever read before. Just like Game of Thrones eventually caught up to its novels, Outlander is stepping into new territory, crafting an ending that blends what we know with what's still to come. Davis admitted she wished the show had more of Book 10 to work with, but with only one season left, they'll have to choose carefully. That leaves room for surprises, plot lines that could shock even the most dedicated readers. Gabaldon herself teased that little pieces of the upcoming book will make their way into the final season, which means we'll actually be experiencing parts of Outlander's future before it's ever published on the page. So where does that leave us? On one side, we have the closing chapter of Jamie and Claire's epic love story. On the other, the beginning of their parents' journeys in Blood of My Blood. And right in the middle, Season 8, the bridge that ties them together. Will Roger stumble into the past and meet Brian and Ellen? Will we finally learn the truth about Jamie's ghost? And will the legacy of the Frasers and Beauchamps continue long after Jamie and Claire's story fades into history? The truth is, the final season of Outlander won't just be an ending, it will be a transformation, a handoff from one generation to another, a shift from a love story that's defined a decade of television to a brand new saga with just as much passion, mystery, and heartbreak. So while we may be preparing to say goodbye to Jamie and Claire, what's really happening is even bigger. We're opening the door to the next great chapter of the Outlander universe. And that's what makes this moment so exciting.